Okay, so I see that you're both wearing lab coats. Those are good for discovery.
You got your safety glasses on.
And I got my safety glasses on, and we might need, anyways.
Yeah.
Besides lab coats, I also saw a bunch of the Camp4U crew running around outside in like flannel and hats and kind of outdoor gear. Oh, yeah. Did you guys know anything about that? Did you see that?
I did see them, and I heard something about they were going on like a nature walk around camp.
Nature.
Which is kind of random, but like it is Random Wednesday.
Nature. Nature. I don't know what that means. Do you mean nature walk? But nature walk? I don't know. Do you know what that means?
I've never really heard of it, but from what I heard from them, all they heard them say is it's gonna be pretty neat.
Well,
That's it.
I guess that makes sense.
There are a lot of neat things around camp, so I'm sure whatever kind of walk they go on, it will have some good things in it.
Yeah.
That's pretty neat.
Yes.
Look at
That's neat. And you know what else is neat? For our how-to this week for Camp4U, we're gonna learn how you can make your own Camp4U.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Hey,
Neat.
it's gonna be really cool to see what you guys think Camp4U episodes should look like from home. We're excited to watch those. So
Yeah.
Amazing.
And don't forget, a really important part of Camp4U is hearing how God has been working in each other's lives. And so today we're gonna hear from Miranda and how God has been working in her life.
It's gonna be great. Let's go discover what this day holds.
it's gonna be pretty neat. Let's go.
That's pretty neat.
Random Wednesday.
Hey campers, we're gonna go and see all the nature here at camp because it's all pretty neat. Come on, let's go.
Wow, can you guys see that? That dandelion has made a lot of seeds for itself. It's gonna blow away in the wind and plant all little baby dandelions.
That's pretty neat.
Okay campers, there's a bunny rabbit, a runny rabbit over there. I'm gonna go see if I can be friends with it. Hey bunny rabbit, what's going on? Oh wow, look at him go. He's so fast.
Whoa, look, it's one of those other dandelions that we saw earlier.
Yeah.
If you blow on it, make a wish.
It's not going anywhere.
Blow harder.
Wow, neat. First thing you're gonna do when you go outside for nature is you want to find a walking stick, and you gotta do a walking stick test.
Oh.
This is a good walking stick. Neat.
What about this walking stick? Is this a good one?
That's a walking stick I call a bear killer. Pretty neat. You can use it to defend yourself against bears. There's no bears here though. Wow, that's pretty neat.
Jamie!
Yeah.
Hi! Guys, look at this.
Wow, this must be really old. You can see here a fossilized orange, even a fossilized blueberry.
That's pretty neat.
Wow, what a beautiful day. You know, they say on the ocean there can be up to 5 ducks at a time, even 30 fish. That's pretty neat.
One thing I'm really hoping to find today is some deer, because deer are pretty neat. I'm going to do my patent pending deer call to see if they show up. Hey deer, where you at from? Now we just gotta wait. You found a deer pelt.
Wow!
These things are what you get when you loot a deer. If you can pickpocket it, you get it really easily. I didn't think it'd be neat, but it was. We're here at this fort here. It was made by the Vikings like 3,000 years ago. It's pretty neat.
Wow.
Can't believe it's still here considering it's made of wood.
I wish we were
Dandelion!
Can't believe how neat that was.
I think I found a fossil. Wow. I heard if you lick it and it sticks, that means it's a fossil.
Is it sticking, Christy?
I think so.
Wow.
Pretty neat.
Alright, we found something pretty neat over here. There's a bobcat. You know, the only way you're actually supposed to talk to cats, they can't hear you otherwise. You gotta talk like this.
Hi, baby.
Hello, my friend. Come to me, little cat. No. Now, yes, he's responding to me. Come in here. So very good, yeah. that a bird? No, it was just neat. We gotta go get these deer. I think you guys probably heard my deer call back there, yeah? Wait, here, right? Anyway, come back. Come back.
Do the deer call, bro.
That's not very neat.
So, this here is my favorite pet llama. Stays here all year long. And then he never runs away when I come back in the summer.
Isn't nature just so neat? Wow, that was pretty neat. All right, bye.
How to.
Hey everyone, today's a super exciting day because for this episode of How To, we're learning how to make a Camp4U video. And along the way, we're going to interview some of your favorite Camp4U stars, as well as get input from our resident videographer, the man who makes it all happen, Jamey. Woo! So every good video starts with a brainstorming phase. That's the point where you sit down either by yourself or with some friends and family. In this case here, we sat down with our whole Camp4U cast for a whole afternoon and we just threw ideas on this whiteboard. And essentially on the whiteboard, we just put any ideas we had for how-tos, for crafts, for tribal melee, for random Wednesdays, for chapel songs, for campfire songs, and we were just like, these are the things we want to do. And we just talked about them for a whole afternoon because what you really need for a video is first an idea, and when you're working together as a team, you can get super amazing ideas. Step 2 of any good video is a good script. Ta-da! And a script doesn't necessarily mean that you're just reading off of it during your video, but it helps you know what you want to say and how you want to say it and how much time that's going to take. But sometimes that's a little bit tricky because for some videos, like for some of our Random Wednesday videos, they're very random. So you don't really need a script. But for other videos, you know, when you're doing a how-to or a craft, you're like, okay, what's step 1, step 3? Sometimes you forget, so it's good to have a script or maybe a few sticky notes just on the side and you're like, okay, so that's what I wanted to say. But to get some expert opinion on how to write some scripts, we're gonna go ask some of our friends. Hello.
Hi.
I saw your sign. I'm sorry, but
That's okay. We can cut this
this is just super important.
Okay.
We're filming a how to make Camp4U video. Ooh. And we need some input from Camp4U stars on how to write a script. So if you have any tips, say them now.
Rachel, do you have any tips?
I do have some tips. So I feel like to start, you first want to know who you're doing it with because I feel like that could affect your script, maybe what they're comfortable with or how much they want to talk. Then you would want to have your supply list so you know what you need to include in your script, what supplies kids need. What else do we need to include?
Where you're gonna film, probably, so you all know where you're gonna meet at the same time. And then you kind of want to write out generally what you want to say and make sure you don't forget any like the main points. Like if you're explaining a game, you want to make sure you say all the rules. So yeah, just make sure you hit the main points, but also make it really fun too, so you can improvise.
Yep, I think that's about it.
Thank you guys so much, and sorry for barging in.
That's okay.
Won't happen again.
We'll get this cut. We'll get this portion cut.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so step 3. Once we're done getting a script, it's time to get ready to record. And the first thing you want to do is find a quiet place to record. Whoa. I don't know who's manning that camera, but this is our how-to studio, as you guys know. And we're really blessed here at camp because we get some fancy lights, fancy microphones, some fancy cameras. But you don't need all that. You could just use a phone or a tablet or, you know, any camera you have at your house if you ask your parents for permission. And you can just, you know, set it up somewhere, put it against a book or something, and you can still make a great video if you have a great idea in your brainstorming phase. And most creative ideas are great, so can never go wrong. But one thing I do recommend is making sure that the space stays quiet, because I know I have a little brother and sometimes he wants to play with me and he doesn't know that I'm busy. So sometimes it's a good idea to put a do not disturb sign close to the room where you're staying in. We have some of those. Okay, yeah, and then once you have that do not disturb sign, it's also a good idea to maybe just tell your family, be like, okay guys, I'm filming right now, please don't be too loud and please don't come in this room right now as we're filming. But maybe if your whole family's involved, then everyone's gonna be quiet because they're all gonna be in the video and they're gonna be talking when they need to. But yeah, it's just a good idea to have that so you don't have any arguments if anyone's like, you ruined my video. And you know, we don't want anybody to be sad over that, so it's always good to talk to each other. Step 4. Step 4 is probably one of the funniest steps for anyone who's watching from the outside. That's practicing without a camera. So sometimes we'll just come in here and we'll be like, la-di-da-di-da. We'll put our script down and we'll keep it there and we'll be like, kind of reading off of it and we're like, how do I want to say this? And it helps you, you know, if you need to take some stuff out of your script, put some stuff back in your script. It's always good to do a practice run without a camera. Just, you know, to get a feel for the set and how things are looking. And just, you know, to get extra practices in so you don't have to take too many takes with the camera. It's just always good practice to do that and just see where you're at before you start rolling the film. Now for step 5, that's recording the video. We're finally there, we're finally recording. It's step 5, so exciting. But I'm always on the receiving end of the camera. I don't really get to do much of the recording. So for this part, I'm gonna ask Jamey how he does it.
All right, the number one thing you need to keep in mind when you're filming is to always double, triple, quadruple check. Make sure everything is working properly. The last thing you want is to record a whole segment and realize that, oh no, my camera wasn't recording, or the battery died, or it ran out of storage space, or if you're using a microphone, my microphone wasn't plugged in properly, and realize that you have no audio or no video and you have to do the whole thing over again. That's just no fun. So always make sure everything's working, you've got a nice fresh camera with lots of battery and lots of storage ready to go.
And there you have it, folks. How to record like a pro from Jamey. Step 6. Step 6 is the editing process, and this is where we kind of get the magic of Camp4U. Some of us don't really know how it works, but we're always like, Jamey, you got this, and Jamey always pulls through. So it's very exciting. And what we have to do on our part, just remember to take our SD cards, and if you don't know what an SD card is, that's kind of where your camera saves the video you just took. So we take these little cards and we go upstairs to the lookout, and in there we give them to Jamey, and Jamey puts them in the computer and he just goes he just moves a few things, and all of a sudden we get amazing Camp4U videos. But you know, that's an oversimplification. We're gonna go upstairs and see how he does it.
Now, the number one thing you want to keep in mind when editing is to trim more than you think you need to. Your instinct is going to be to leave a lot in, but the more you can trim, the more you can cut down on, the more precise and direct your video will be. And that's always better.
Well, that was so fun. Thank you guys so much for being here with us for this how-to, and I hope you guys enjoyed the behind-the-scenes look and some of our special interviews. And you know, I think even I learned some new things from Jamey, and that was super cool. You know, it's always fun to be learning new things, and what I'm most excited about is one of this week's challenges is for you guys to make your own Camp4U video. And I can't wait to see what you guys come up with, because you guys have been so creative all summer, and I'm just super excited to see all the Camp4U videos made by campers, because you guys know what fun is, and I'm just super excited to see you guys film fun. And yeah, hope you guys had fun, and see you guys later.
Story time.
All right, hey Camp4U, it's Miranda here, and today I'm going to be telling you a little bit about my testimony, so the story of my life so far. So when I was little, I never went to church, and no one in my family was a Christian, except for my Oma, who's my grandmother, so we'll talk about her a little bit later. But my family was still one that had lots of fun together, and we spent lots of time together building things and gardening and camping and hiking, and it was really great to be all together with my mom and my dad, and my brother and myself. But when I got a little bit older, well, when I was 7, my mom decided that she didn't want to be in our family anymore, and so she left and she moved out. So my parents got divorced, and I was really heartbroken because of it. So as a kid, I remember feeling really lonely and sad a lot of the time, and I felt like I had no one to talk to, but I had a lot of really big emotions, and that was really hard. So I spent a lot of years being very angry at my mom and feeling like she had abandoned me, like she had left me, and that she didn't want to be involved with my family anymore. So yeah. So that was a really hard time in my life, obviously, and it left me feeling quite empty and like I just needed something to come help. So after all of this hurt had come into the life of my family, my Oma, who is my dad's mom, started encouraging my dad to start going to church, because when he was little, he went to church, but he hadn't for a very long time. So one day, my dad listened to my Oma and we started going to church. And all through my life so far, I had heard a little bit about Jesus because my Oma is best friends with Jesus. She loves him so much and always has. So she would write me letters and sometimes on the phone tell me that Jesus was God and that he was Savior, and that he wanted to be my friend and that he loved me very much. But this was kind of hard to understand because I didn't see my Oma very much, and that was the only times I ever heard about him. So once we had started going to church, I started to really understand more about God and about his story, which we read about in the Bible. So things were really hard still for many years in my family because we were still apart and we were still feeling very broken, all of us. But I started to realize that when I would feel scared and lonely and worried and heartbroken, that I could talk to the Lord, I could talk to God. So sometimes I would just be by myself and I would close my eyes, and sometimes even I would physically reach out towards him and I would just say, Jesus, help, come be with me. And it might sound crazy, but you also might know what I mean when I say that I really could feel his presence come and be with me. I could feel his peace and his friendship. And I went from feeling empty and lonely and scared to feeling whole and complete and taken care of because God was with me. So it's really amazing how God used my Oma and he used a really terrible situation to bring me clues and information about himself. And he used his Holy Spirit to really make sense of it in my head and in my heart. And in the Bible, let me just read this for you. It says in Acts 17:27 that we would seek him and perhaps reach out to him and find him, though he is not far from any one of us. For in him we live and move and have our being. So discovering God's nearness was just like having my eyes open to him. He was always there around me, but I just didn't know it until I had my eyes open to him. And discovering God is like finding the most valuable treasure that you could ever wish to find. But you also don't actually have to go anywhere to find it. So he is always around you. He's always near you. And he's always there for you if you ever need to talk to him. So I hope that hearing my story is a little bit of insight into how God works and how he's so close to you. And I just hope you enjoyed hearing my story today. Okay, bye.
Well, that was pretty neat.
Yeah, it sure was. I just love seeing all the neat things around camp, and we want to see all the neat nature that you guys have at home. So get outside, take some pictures and videos of the neat nature that you guys have around
So
your
Nature
house.
Walk. Makes so
Yeah.
much sense now.
Puts it together.
We
Yeah.
all get it now.
Woo.
That is neat.
Okay, guys, I think we're at 8 neats.
Whoa.
my goodness.
Well, Jamey and Nathan took us through some of the process of how to make Camp4U, and we hope you know that we really enjoy making Camp4U
Yeah.
for you. So we want to now let you make one and send it to us so that we can enjoy watching you make your own Camp4U, or at least the ideas that you come up with.
Yeah, so whether you write it all down and have a plan, or whether you actually are able to put some of it on video, we want to see that, because we would love to have you guys join in on some of those brainstorming of ideas that we have. So all of that to say, we will see you guys on Friday.
That'll be
pretty
neat.
That is neat.